Alright, here we are on Ancient Cistern once again, spawning in the top right hand side of the map. Represented Hot-Headed Gaming. It is NightPhoenix. And on the other side of the map, representing Team Roddy, it is Fjant. Now, I do actually know both of these players. NightPhoenix was the champion for the Ukrainian Cup, which I casted a couple months ago at this point. I don't remember quite the timeline. But it was incredibly fun to see NightPhoenix play these games out. Fjant, I know maybe a little bit more personally. Back when I was streaming, he actually did pop into my chat once or twice. I've had the chance to talk with him. Super sweet dude. He's actually a surprisingly potent Zerg player, so it'll be interesting to see what he has in store for us today. Well, that being said, it doesn't look like anybody's really up to shenanigans this go around. Both players are I always want to say giving each other a little bit of respect, not cheesing each other, but I always feel like it's kind of a gross way of saying it. Like, you can respect somebody and still cheese them. I've done it before. But then again, maybe I'm just not a respectable person. Either way, both players are trying to get their setup going for a macro game. Nothing too serious to really report yet. NightPhoenix will be coming up on his first tech choice here fairly soon. NightPhoenix leaving the probe there at the front of the Zerg base just to make sure that Fjant is kept a little bit honest. We don't have any Zerglies trying to sneak out and get a little bit of early damage done. Stargate on the way now for NightPhoenix. It's been a while since I've seen NightPhoenix break out the Stargate play. I'm not sure if his choice is going to be Phoenix or Oracle. I think it's Oracle. It's been a while. We'll find out here soon enough. He is making another Adept. First Adept is moving across the field. And Fjant's just kind of doing his thing. Just macroing up, getting some queens, expanding the creep. Nothing really too serious here. Zergling's going to be scouting. Not really going to see anything. Not going to see anything too shocking, I don't think. NightPhoenix going to finish the wall there. First two Adepts are going to be getting a little bit of scouting done. I don't imagine that they're going to try and stick around. Oh, no, they are going to stick around. All right. Nice recall there. It's going to get both of those Adepts out. One of them will take a bit of hull damage, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. NightPhoenix seeing that there's not really anything super spicy that Fjant has planned for him right now. First Oracle has popped out. Second Oracle will be on the way here soon, as well as the third base. We do have a small run by a Zerglings trying to poke into the base now. Oracle's going to come in and get a little bit of damage done before having to pull away. The Queen's maybe slightly out of position. I mean, you kind of almost expect to take a little bit of damage from an Oracle, and 2 drones isn't the end of the world, I would say. Fjant just kind of poking around the third base. Second Oracle is going to just hang out there for a second just to make sure that it is well established before moving out. Twilight Council on the way now for our Protoss player. Fjant getting himself a couple of Spore Crawlers just to help with the defense of these Oracles. Ooh, Queen's actually going to get caught a little bit out of position. Is there energy to heal? No, there is not. Unfortunately, Fjant loses a Queen there. One of the Oracles does take a little bit of hull damage. NightPhoenix is continuing to pump out these Oracles. It looks like he's going for... Oh. No, actually cancels the Oracle and decides to go straight into ground weaponry. I'm not sure what the choice or what the trigger was for that, or if it was a mistake. Either way, a fairly neat little thing to see there. Fjant continuing to drone up, grabbing that Roach Warren. I don't imagine these Zerglings are really going to get that much done, but they are going to poke around and see how well saturated that third base is. I seem to have missed a very important happening here. A couple of Adepts are going to be getting a decent amount of damage done. It looks like they're going to try and get into the natural. A couple of Oracles are going to be joining up with them. Ooh, it looks like Fjant's going to lose a couple of more workers here. We're down to... yeah, down to 52. This is definitely not a spot you want to be as a Zerg player. We do have a swarm of Zerglings that are trying to move across the map as we speak, as these Oracles continue to kind of poke around here a little bit. Fourth base will be going down soon for the Zerg player. These Zerglings are trying to run by, but the Stalkers are actually... oh, I thought the Stalkers were well placed, but they are not. It looks like the Zerglings are going to be able to tear through them pretty quickly. Probes are pulled to try and reinforce. I mean, NightPhoenix loses a couple of Stalkers, but I don't even think it's the worst thing in the world. Alright, now we're going to start to lose some probes here. Fortunately, the Zerglings are cleaned up. NightPhoenix only loses 3 workers. Puts them slightly behind Fjant in worker count, but it's not necessarily the biggest of deals, I would say. Well, NightPhoenix is actually mining significantly more gas than Fjant is right now. That Protoss tech is not cheap. Another run by, moving out for Fjant. NightPhoenix trying to push the third base location once again. Alright, nice little setup here, getting the stasis wards ready to go. Stalkers are going to try and deal with these queens here. Oracles aren't kind of sitting back, not really doing all that much. Probably waiting for the queen count to be dropped down a little bit. Zerglings did try to hit the 4th base there, but we're pushed back. Really, what's more interesting here is to see how these Stalkers are really going to deal with this. Ooh, actually, the Zerglings come back full surround. NightPhoenix does blink out. I'm shocked it did not hit that stasis ward. Actually, really impressive. Fjant is pumping out roaches now, as well as a couple more queens. Zergling's going to try once again to engage. They're getting a little bit stuck on each other, which is a bit unfortunate. Really nice pullbacks there by Fjant. Really, only having 1 Zergling stasis out of 2 stasis traps. Nice little bit of micro there by our Zerg player. More roaches, more Ravagers. Unfortunately, looks like roach speed has only just now started. But they are going to have a bit of a hard time responding to anything that NightPhoenix is trying to do on the map. Oh, now that's a much bigger stasis. That's a bit unfortunate for Fjant. Fjant rushing off of creep to try and engage into these Stalkers. I don't think that's necessarily the correct call here. Like, this is your 5th base. I feel like you can... well... I'm not sure. Fjant is struggling here just a little bit. He's only up... he is up 1 base, but he is significantly down in workers. He's really trying hard. He's really scared of these Stalkers, to be honest with you. Queens are being pulled to the 5th base. Now, this is a lot of Zerg, but there is a massive warping of reinforcements here. I don't think Fjant really is going to be able to break this. I think he needs to sit back and just take a little bit of time working on the working on his economy. Big engagement here by Fjant. A lot of the Stalkers had not reinforced yet. Let's get a decent little chunk of kills a decent chunk of Stalkers there, but you have a couple of Banelings in there. Those could be spicy. You hit a nice clump. Oh, actually, Fjant with a nice little run by here. Didn't even notice that this was moving out. He's actually moving his main army out onto the field now. This is some excellent multitasking by Fjant here. Straining NightPhoenix just a little bit. I'm still a little bit worried because he's kind of, he's really pushing the issue here. And he's got to make it happen with this Roachling Bane army. Alright, Stalkers do come in to try to reinforce. I mean, a lot of workers have been taken down at this point. This is actually brutal for NightPhoenix. Now, NightPhoenix has been mining a little bit more. Actually, no, I don't think that even matters at this point. There's stuff happening all over the map right now. This is just a Warp Prism with Zealots in it. Trying to make something happen here on the other side of the map, but it looks like the Queens are able to deal with that pretty effectively. Stalkers are going to jump in, try and take out this 5th base. I'm pretty sure they're going to be very successful with that. The other side of the map, it looks like Fjant is moving in for another big push. Alright, War Prism is going to be moving in again. A couple of Zealots are going to be harassing this 4th base location. Drones are going to be going down, but on the other side of the map, Fjant is trying to break through the wall of NightPhoenix, and it looks like he might actually be pretty successful, but the rest of the army is coming in to reinforce. Can he break the wall in time? It looks like he is going to have to back off here. On the other side of the map, it looks like the Zealots have been taken out, but, well, actually only 6 drones down. Well, I mean, that's 6 drones, but you're now down from 57 to 51, and that's really not a place you want to be as a Zerg player. It looks like NightPhoenix is kind of rounding out his tech here. We do have 4 Archons in the production queue right now, so this is going to be really scary for Fjant to deal with here soon. Stalkers move back and deal with that. Oracles are still in play here, and I imagine they're going to try and get more economic damage done and really choke Fjant here out. Another big push by Fjant trying to deal with this 4th base, but it looks like there's going to be a looks like the retreat path is going to be cut off. Really aggressive blink there out of NightPhoenix, pushing right into those roaches. Just 0 Fs given. Everything is going to get crushed here very quickly. GG's going to be called. NightPhoenix take game number 1. This may not be the Ukrainian Cup. NightPhoenix is out here trying to defend his title like it is. Excellently done by NightPhoenix there. Be hopping into game number 2 now. Got my cup of coffee with me. Going to be feeling nice and energetic here for this cast. Actually, probably not the best idea to be drinking hot liquids like this. They tend to hurt your vocal cords a little bit, but I don't really care. Alright. We now find ourselves on Babylon. Spawning in the top left-hand side of the map. Up 1 game. It is NightPhoenix. And spawning on the other side of the map with the blue Zerg pieces. Give it up for Fjant. I do hope I'm saying Fjant's name right. I know I've butchered it in the past, and I am terrible at learning names. I'm pretty sure it's Fjant. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 85% sure. We do have a... Okay. For a second there, I thought Fjant was sending out a drone to do something wicked. Yes, I'm saying it right? Okay, good. Always have to double check and make sure. There's nothing more embarrassing than saying the wrong... For a while, I was actually saying his name is a Fjant. You know, the real southern swamp mouth kind of came out of me. They said, spawning on the other side of the map, it is Fjant. Give it up for Fjant. Had to be corrected multiple times. Very embarrassing. All right, looks like we're going to be diving into another macro game here. Nothing too out of the ordinary so far. Beautiful wall from NightPhoenix. Or I should say a beautiful setup. Second hatchery on the way. Yep. I think this is worth a moment just to... We'll just follow this probe here for a second. We'll just follow it. We'll see... oh, he's doing the little bit of mineral harass there. Fortunately, he actually did grab a piece of mineral, so he is going to have to go back. Just going to take a sip of my coffee while this happens. Poking around a little bit, making sure everything's on the up and up. Of course. Stargate is going to be the choice once again for NightPhoenix. It looks like he's going to be absolutely devastating with the Oracles once again. Oracles really are one of those things that's just like... They can be difficult to deal with. It's almost... I don't... It feels almost like a guarantee. Like, they get something done. Oracles are just really good units, in my opinion. They're just really good units. Alright, Adept is going to poke in here. We're just going to... Hey, actually, lets it finish again. A little bit surprised. Normally you want to have 2 here, so I'm not sure if this was a mistake or if this was intentional. But this what Adept is getting some getting a little bit of worker harass done. Second Adept is going to be popping in, immediately going away. I'm not 100% sure. It seems that NightPhoenix was a little bit confused as what he wanted to do with that. I don't know. I'm leaning towards that being a mistake. But we'll see. We'll see going forward. Continuing to poke around with the Adepts before sending them back home. First Oracle will be finishing up here fairly soon. Fjant once again sending out a couple of links just to poke around, make sure everything's on the up and up. Maybe cancel the 3rd base, who knows. Probably not going to happen with the Adepts being there. These guys really do have their timings really well thought out. NightPhoenix exactly on time there. Deal with the Zerglings there at the 3rd base. Fjant is going to say that this is Oracles once again. Puts down a couple of Spore Crawlers, as you do. Looking very similar to game 1 so far. Very similar. Even with the Twilight Council there. That's a brave Oracle pilot. Looks like he might be able to get this... Ooh, actually does snipe the drone there. Nice. Well done. Actually, it doesn't even take hull damage either, I don't think. Yeah. Really well timed out there by NightPhoenix. Fjant's going to continue poking around with these Zerglings, just seeing what they can do. Now, he is getting +1 melee. Oh, he's severely supply blocked. I didn't even notice that. I was wondering why we didn't really see anything in the production queue, but that's why. Roach Warren on the way now for our Zerg player. His Oracles are getting work done. 3rd Oracle will be joining them momentarily. NightPhoenix going directly into charge. It looks like both of these players are going to... Oh yeah. We have the Gateway Explosion coming up, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a charge lot. This is going to be a big charge lot push. Definitely something that irritated me whenever I was playing StarCraft 2, but man, it is such a good build. It is so potent if you do it right. Roachhorn finishing up for the Zerg player. Layer to follow. There is a 4th base coming up as well. NightPhoenix trying to find another location that he can harass with these Oracles, but Fjant's movement with his Queens is pretty good, keeping them from really doing too much damage. Oh, you love to see... I love to see slow Zealots moving around. It's so goofy. But their leg enhancements has finished. They're going to be moving across the map here, see if they can get a little bit of damage done. That's 5 Oracles. Oh my god. There's too many Oracles, in my opinion. Too many Oracles. Make it stop. Alright, ground units have... Oh my god. Alright, Oracles are going to trigger the Pulsar Beams, going to try and take out these Queens as quickly as possible. The Zerglings are here. It looks like they're going to be able to stomp these Zealots pretty hard. NightPhoenix losing actually that entire ground army as well as 2 Oracles. Not really getting that much done. Well, the Adepts did a little bit of something, but not too much. Now, I will say, Fjant might have overmade units here just a little bit. Because he is once again behind in worker count. You never want to be that place as a Zerg player. And he's trying to make something happen with this swell of Zerglings, but he's not going to barely be able to do anything yet. Templar Archives on the way. Baneling Nest on the other side. Alright. Oracles are, once again, patrolling around, seeing if there's anything that they can do at the moment. Zerglings... Uh-oh. Zerglings are going to pop up here. NightPhoenix's army is a little bit out of position, but at the same time, these Zealot Warpins will be just fine. Going to be able to push this back pretty effectively. Are we going to see Chargelot Archon? Oh, we are going to see Chargelot Archon. Oh, that's exciting. Fjant trying to catch these zealots out in the open. Unfortunately, I think it only took one of them. NightPhoenix actually pushing again with this oracles and zealots. Zealots are going to stand strong versus this. It does feel like NightPhoenix is kind of throwing away units at this point. Like I could get the first one. I get behind that. But the second one, I don't know. It didn't feel like it really accomplished anything. Maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe I'm just maybe it's just I'm just a dumb commentator, but alright, Fjant really wants to break through this, but unfortunately he does not know what's on the other side of this, otherwise he might not want to. Alright, this is actually a decent amount of Zerg. Archons are going to be able to shred these Zerglings to pieces. Ooh, really nice stasis ward trap there. I didn't even notice that the stasis ward was buried under all of that stuff. So Fjant's going to lose a decent chunk of units here. I mean, that being said, creep is expanding to just outside of NightPhoenix's third base. Fjant has a decent economy behind this. Is getting into an infestation pit. Oh, speed just now finished for the Baneleys. Yikes! That was a lot of probes that just went down. On the other side of the map, it looks like we do have a zealot run by that's going to try and clean up the this fifth base line, but I mean, there's enough Zerglings here to deal with it. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. I wouldn't sweat it too hard. Do we have Storm? We don't have Storm, so we're just exclusively making Archons here as the Protoss player. Oracles are sharking around. This is actually a... Well, I was going to say it's a lot of Zerg, but it's really just a lot of Zerglings. So these Archons can probably just absolutely shred. Now we are making a couple of Baneleys here, so I imagine he's going to try and bust through the wall here. Which honestly would be really cool. Just bust the wall and then get on top of it as quickly as possible. However, the Oracles are going to spot this. Fjant's going to try and engage into this. I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea. Those Archons will be able to shred everything. Ooh, actually 11 more drones went down. NightPhoenix kind of picking Fjant apart here. He really should probably back off and focus on economy again, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Big Roachling Bane push here. Ooh, big surround by NightPhoenix. I'm just going to catch a lot of these roaches kind of out in the open. He's actually going to cut off their retreat path as well. I think these I think these units are actually in a lot of trouble right now. Fjant does manage to retreat down to 61 workers, so he's going to have to make something happen here fairly soon. Ooh, big swarm of Zerglings coming in. Unfortunately, the Baneleys are going to kind of be behind this. Oh, nope. Yeah, there we go. Zerglings are going to be getting into the base. A huge push here at the 4th. Now, it looks like this should get cleaned up, I believe, but it's going to be a lot more difficult to clean up all of this Zerg trapped in the base. I mean, that being said, though, like, NightPhoenix did lose a lot, but at the same time, he is still significantly ahead in workers. He's like, his army is still rather powerful, and he's still, I mean, he's still trucking. I'm actually surprised. I thought that what Fjant did there was going to actually kind of push it over the edge and give him the advantage, but it didn't really. Alright, we're setting up for another Ling run by here. Oh, door's still open. Hey, if you experience a break-in, definitely close those doors. Alright, Zealots are going to be running by here again. 5th base is going to be taken out. I mean, 16 probes have gone down the other side of the map. That's rather significant, and the count is still climbing, for God's sake. That being said, though, Fjant's 4th base is going to be taken out here as well. That's a lot of Zerglings that he is throwing away, though. Well, I shouldn't say throwing away at this point. It's actually probably a decent trade. NightPhoenix still has a decent bank, though. Roaches are going to come in here, be able to clean up the mess. Fortunately, the Oracles are still going to be a problem here. Man, NightPhoenix still actually has a decent army. Like this is kind of scary for a Zerg player. Archons are really good. They're so good. 2 Colossus on the way now for our Protoss player, as well as some more charge lots. Fjant trying to rebuild some of these bases. Getting Adrenal, +3. Tries to warp in a couple of Zealots here at the natural, but unfortunately it's just not going to be enough. Fjant is on top of it. We'll be able to clean it up pretty easily. Alright, we do have a much nasty... Alright, we do have an engagement here in the middle of the map. But this is a lot of Archons. Banelings are going to be chasing pretty hard. It looks like they're actually going to be able to take out the sentries, maybe? Ooh, nice sentry... nice stasis trap there. Once again, the Banelings are going to be locked up here for a moment. Fjant is doing a decent job of keeping NightPhoenix at bay right now. Just keeping him kind of having to stay at home. Like, Fjant, he's still getting out some of these some of these run-bys, and the Oracles are still doing stuff, but Fjant is still giving himself a decent amount of space. It looks like there's a... Ooh, wow, nice force fields here. Actually managed to trap a lot of those roaches and just absolutely rip them apart. Oracles are going to be popping in here. Ooh, actually loses one of them. Bit unfortunate. A couple of these drones are going to be taken out. I don't think it's the... I keep wanting to say that it's not the worst thing in the world, but this is a low eco Zerg. It is hitting kind of hard. Another Zealot run by here might actually be able to take out the 4th base or 5th base, whichever one this is, yet again. NightPhoenix is also pushing down the middle of the map. Ooh, that's a lot of Banelings. NightPhoenix kind of baited into chasing them a little bit. Fjant losing a couple of spare units here and there. He's doing a decent job of tracking NightPhoenix and where he's going, though, so that's a good thing. All right, here we go. We actually don't have like a big spread of units. Ooh, really nice force fields there, blocking out a lot of those Banelings, but he does wind up losing all of the sentries. Big recall here by NightPhoenix. Actually, all of the Archons have been taken out, and it looks like there actually was, I believe, there was a Bane run by. Taking out 12 more probes. Definitely been a scrappy game, this one. Ooh. 2 more Colossi go down. Now, Fjant is getting into this this late game Zerg tech now. We're going to be seeing some Vipers here on the field fairly soon, and that's going to pose a problem to NightPhoenix. Vipers are incredibly good at battlefield manipulation. Being able to pull some of these high-tech units out of position is going to be very, very bad for NightPhoenix, but very good for Fjant here. Also, I'd like to point out that NightPhoenix has lost a lot of his momentum, but Fjant is still going. Fjant does have a scary army. Still trying to make something happen with these Zergling run-bys. This is so cute. I love this whole position right here. Taking out just a couple of probes here and there. Looks like there's going to be another, I believe this, yeah. Yeah, another big Zealot warp in, trying to make something happen here. Ooh, actually takes out the Warp Prism with the ducks. Is that worth them? Oh, yeah, it would probably be worth, just because Vipers can regen energy pretty quickly. Alright, NightPhoenix is trying to put together, this is starting to feel like Last Army type of deal. Like, this is still like a scary Protoss army, especially with the Disruptors mixed in now, but Fjant just has so much on the field now, as well as these Vipers that can really do some, pull off some sick plays with those. Alright, Fjant is pushing down the middle of the map once again. Ooh, nice feedbacks there by NightPhoenix. Really well done. Nice Disruptor hit as well. Fjant is deciding to go ahead and push up, but I think that just too much has been done at this point. There's a nice Disruptor hit. The Vipers really aren't doing too much, and he's getting stuck on this ramp, and everything's being just ripped apart. In one fight, NightPhoenix turns the tide and is now pushing across the map, picking off some of these key units of Fjant. That's shocking. Wow. Really well done there by NightPhoenix. Fjant trying to set up a bit of a surround here, but is going to be a little unsuccessful. Once again, pretty nice force fields. NightPhoenix will be rotating to the 5th base location. Or 4th. I don't remember which one this is at this point. He's been killed a couple times. We do have a little bit of static D here. I'm not sure if it's really going to provide that much. Yeah, I don't know if it's really going to provide that much. NightPhoenix finally setting up the 5th base location here, as well as harassing Fjant's 4th or 5th, whichever one that is. Fjant is definitely struggling here. We're severely down on workers. Our bank is drying up. Like, there's still... Well, there's only one Viper. There's still a possibility. I don't want to count him completely out yet. But things are looking a little bit grim for Fjant right now. NightPhoenix pushing across the middle of the map once again. Another little head squad of Zealots aiming to do a little bit of harassment while he pushes down the middle. Actually, it goes right back to the 5th. Fjant trying to push this Protoss army back, but unfortunately the Stalkers are well positioned. The Archons are allowed to just absolutely wreck the Zerglings. Fjant trying to surround with the Roach Ravager, but it's just not going to be enough at this point. Really well played by NightPhoenix here. And just absolutely eviscerating Fjant's army here. Fjant trying once again to do something here on the other side of the map. It looks like there's a bunch of Zealots taking out that 4th or 5th base location, whichever one it is. GG is going to be called, and NightPhoenix is going to take this match 2-0.